Have fun.
All right.
Yep.
Take it easy,
Later,
man.
dude. Hello, everybody in the interwebs. This is our first podcast, the VR podcast, first episode. And with all stuff going on right now with the OGL and people looking for a different place to make their home when it comes to a TTRPG, we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of talk a little bit about Pathfinder2e and the resources, how to get into the game, and just maybe give some people who are on the fence or are looking for a new thing something to look into and show off like how easy it is. It's free for the most part, and just try to help out the community in the little way that we can. I'm here with the rest of the players for our campaign. Also, our DM is going to be going through screens and stuff so we can kind of show off how easy it is to do what we're going to talk about today. What's up, everybody?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hello.
So, one thing that we like about 2E is how easy it is to get into the game if it's something that you want to. They have a lot of free resources because we know, a lot of people spend a lot of money on D&D and their sites and their programs and everything like that, just to get rules and things like that. And we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of show off some of the things that we use that are free and you can just try out, and maybe it might be what you are looking for to push you into moving into 2E.
Yeah, we consider like this video of a way of give a helping hand to kind of push in the direction of getting started, because it can seem kind of daunting. I know it was a little daunting when we first started, but it's
absolutely.
It's a lot better now.
And now that we know the things that we know, making characters, running through rules, coming up with ideas, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. If you do decide to make the jump, we highly recommend that you do go out and purchase a core rulebook from Paizo. It's gonna be the easiest way to get started, to give that a read through. It's because it's got all the rules and stuff that you need to get started in the game. Better yet, try out the beginner's box to start with, because that's kind of a more ease you into the game, teach you the rules as you go, as you play, as you're having fun, that kind of thing. And the core book is just has everything else in it. The one of the joys of Paizo as a company is that it's definitely a pay as you want type of system. You don't have to purchase any of the core books. Those are all provided free simultaneously on release on a website called Archives of Nethys. However, their adventure paths and things like that you're definitely going to want to purchase those. None of that stuff is available for free, but forgot where I was going with this. Lost my train of thought.
You definitely like buying, I would say, is a good thing, but using Archives of Nethys to kind of get your feet wet and see, like, their rules are right there. Like, you can look, see if you like it, and if you do, then if you want to make that leap and support a company that is doing a good job, I would say then definitely purchase into it. But getting your feet wet is the biggest thing.
Yeah, even though we're going to show off the Archives of Nethys website and how to use it, to be honest, if you are playing Pathfinder 2e and you have a question, you you literally just type that question in and put 2e at the end of it, and Google is more than likely going to send you to the exact place in Archives of Nethys that will give you that answer. You want to learn the rules for shove, or what a spell does, or something like that. Just type that in, slap a 2e at the end of it, and you'll probably show up on Archives of Nethys.
And the one major downside to Archives of Nethys is all of the rules and stuff are kind of decentralized. And everything is kind of scattered out a little bit, so it can be difficult to find what you're looking for unless you know like specifically what you're looking for. So we kind of want to show with this how to navigate that most effectively, at least from our experience. But general rule of thumb, if you have a question about a rule, Googling it and then following that to archives is going to be your best bet in a lot of situations. But actually navigating around the site, once you get used to it, it's fairly intuitive.
It gets much easier. As you can see on here, he's showing the menu bars where your character creation is, equipment, feats, so you can actually look, what a character go by each class, go by their archetype, read about them. They tell you everything you need to know about the class, how much spells they're supposed to have, what things that they just get inherently for their class, and then feats as you go all the way down. And then at the very top you would click on the area for that class, and then it would tell you, and then you can go through like what you get at level 1, get at level 4, and so on and so on. Also, using the search bar, you can look up, they have all the monsters. Again, everything you need is here. Might be harder to find, but it's here. The monsters, the rules, they got sample builds for the class. It's very helpful, and it's totally free.
If you like it, what's being shown there, as you peruse, and then you consider do it a little more serious for your group, and yeah, I would recommend to buy at that point. But it's a nice like here you go, get a nice little sample, a little hors d'oeuvre, as you would say.
Yeah, like we all at least when we all came here, it was our DM kind of like had the rules, was interested in getting the books, stuff like that. But once we learned about the system, found what we were interested in, what we liked, it was just easy to want to support them, and we started buying the books ourselves. But again, it's not absolutely necessary. Anything else anybody wants to go over with archives?
No, I think it's good. We kind of covered everything, and it's better for them to explore and peruse at their own leisure, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
Also, one thing too is Archives is a hub for 3 different Pathfinder products. There's Pathfinder2e. I believe Starfinder is also available in Archives and Nethys, and as well as Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So when you go to the site, just make sure that you filter all the rules by Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so you're not getting mixed signals from anywhere.
Also, another benefit is, say a new adventure path or a new book comes out, this is immediately updated with all the rules and feats and everything for it. So say your DM buys a new adventure path, obviously he's going to have all the content for that adventure path, but if there's anything questioning about the rules or things that maybe a character could do specifically for the adventure path, you can find it right there. So you don't have to wait for your GM to be available to you. You can do that type of looking into and research for yourself.
Yeah, just be very careful when you're navigating those types of pages, because it can be very easy to spoil yourself on the campaign. So if you want to go in blind, I would say stick to the player primer, because every single adventure path has a player primer that's released alongside of it that is completely free. I might add, just kind of give the players something to go off of before starting the campaign. But like this is, I would say this is best for DMs. This right here that Zale's showing us right now, because that's all of the new information that's been added through that adventure path to the Pathfinder ethos.
And then next thing we're going to show off is one of the things that really helped us all out as players. I was kind of new to TTRPGs. I was very new to TTRPGs when I first met this group, but they were playing 5e for a really long. And then our game master was like, "Hey guys, I'm interested in going to PF2e," and we were like, "Well," I was like, "What the hell is that?" I just spent so much time learning. Now I gotta learn this new thing. And at first, when we first saw Archives, it was just like, I don't really catch this. How am I supposed to, build a character? But then we found Pathfinder or Path Builder. Sorry, if you just go to pathbuilder.com, someone has made a website and he states they update it all the time. It's always got current content on here, and it's free. There is a paid version, it's only $5, but the use it itself is absolutely free, and you can just start a character and go through level by level by level. What feats are available to you, and then your skill feats and general feats, your points, everything. Everything's on here. It's super easy. Right now we're showing you the mobile version. You can get that on your phone. There's also a website. Looks different, but it's basically the same thing.
Real quick, if I remember correctly, correct me on this, Ro, because I think you have an iPhone. If I'm not mistaken, Path Builder is Android only at the moment. So if you're an iPhone user, unfortunately, you will need to stick to the web version. And a slight distinction as well: the app itself is free. You can make a character completely free on the app. The paid version just supplies you with variant rules options, such as the things we use, like dual class, free archetype, and
Ancestry Paragon.
It also gives you access to the pets tab, so that if your character is provided a mount or minion or an eidolon or anything like that, the app itself will let you set up all of their stats as well, all in kind of one place. It's great.
Yes.
Yep. And not only is it a character builder, but it's also a character. You can add your gear, your inventory, your weapons, your armor. If you get the paid version, your pets, your spell book. Our spell book is there. And I am not as familiar with the mobile version as you guys, but on the web version, you can actually roll. Straight on
on the mobile too.
Yeah, there's a roll option. Yep.
Yeah. So you can roll from the.
I would also like to point out this is only a one-time $5 purchase.
Yep.
You get basically unlimited characters. And at least I haven't hit a cap. I have at least 40 characters on there.
Yeah, it's limited by memory on your phone.
Yeah, your
storage.
I can confirm because I have 125 just sitting and waiting.
Yep,
yeah.
There you go.
Like
that's
why
Rick.
I do
that's
have
why
a
we
problem.
thought it would be a good idea to show this, because this is the thing that kind of got us in, was this easy character builder. It's simple to use. Make your background, your classes, your dual classes. Go that route,
and
then just go through, and it's easy to understand, and you can just come up with builds on your own.
It also
really...
only. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just saying, it also only presents you options that you are quote unquote qualified for. And it separates everything out, like Zale is showing us here, like the ancestries. It separates everything out by common, uncommon, and rare ancestries, so you can kind of know, based on what your GM allows at the table, things that you're limited to. Everything's color coded. But the main thing for me, especially for newer players that aren't as familiar with the character creation process, that it does tell you what feats you can choose, which feats you meet the prerequisites for. It lets you know if you selected something that is, not a legal option for your character. And also it updates in real time to keep track of your skill modifiers and stuff as you go. So it's very convenient, and you can make small changes here and there as you're making the character, and it updates automatically for you, so you can see how your modifiers shake out and things like that. So it's a very robust tool, and the guy who made this is a freaking genius, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is a legend, and I had no problem giving him my $5 at all.
I gave him my $5 twice. It was so good. I have the web version and the app version. So I love this
I
app.
waited all of 30 seconds before I gave him $5. Actually,
Yeah.
$7 because
Canadian funny money.
Canadian,
exactly.
It's worth a Starbucks coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give the man a coffee.
do want to let you know that if you do pay for one version, you don't get both. So there's a phone app, and then there's the, using the website. So
$10? You mean two coffees?
$10 total. But you have, your actual physical storage is the only limiter. You can have as many characters as you want.
These characters are also exportable in multiple formats, so you can send the build to other people and have them go over it, or if someone else wants to use the build that you made, you can send it to them and they can pull it up in their app as long as they have the same version as you, and everything just fills in for them automatically. We actually use this for our Pathfinder prototypes builds. I like to include the actual Path Builder export file in the description of every one of our videos. Shameless self plug. So that people who are interested in the builds can pull them up on their phone and see just the full ins and outs of it.
And also, if you use the VTT Foundry, you can actually export a file over there, so you can import it straight into Foundry. So you can build it here. If you go if you go crazy like we do with our variant roles, it makes it a little bit harder. But if you're just playing, single class, all that stuff, it's very easy to export over there. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually gonna chime in on that, but Zoe
but
didn't do it.
Was something that we used to have. And
it was really something, not anymore, but
it'll probably be a thing in the future.
It'll be back soon, TM.
Yeah.
But then with the roadmap that the app kind of provides for you, for like every level is clearly labeled of what you get, all that stuff. It makes it very easy to build your character in Foundry as well, because you just have your roadmap. You just go, okay, I got to drag this in. And you just work your way through.
And I have found very few situations on the Path Builder app. There are a few. I just want to be clear, but they're few and far between where I've actually had to go outside of the app to look up some information. And a lot of it specifically regarding if you select an archetype for a spellcaster and you select the basic spellcasting feat, it doesn't tell you everything that entails within the text of that selection, unfortunately. But that's one of like very few instances where I've had that happen. Everything else is self-contained within the app, and just everything's at your fingertips.
Yeah, every magic item, every wearable, consumable, like anything you could have for a character is there.
Mm-hmm. This is basically like if anyone here is familiar with D&D Beyond and how it works, this is basically that, but for free. and maybe with a few more bells and whistles on top. So
yeah, I was actually going to mention too that because I've played Inventors before, and Inventors, their big thing is their whole innovation, weapon, armor, whatever. And part of their class, they can upgrade this with various abilities. The Path Builder app actually fully supports all of the innovations, and you can put in all of those bonus effects as well. Foundry at the moment does not do this yet because they haven't figured out a way to like automate the armor kind of system. You kind of have to do that manually, but Path Builder can do that all for you, and I used that extensively to make sure that all of my bonuses were in place.
I know Zale's been sitting here going through and just making a character as we go, but I think if you guys want to, we can sit here and like hash out a character up through level 1 just to kind of show how easy it is, first off, to create a character in Pathfinder, and also how to use the app and go through the selections and see what you have available. I didn't have an idea for a character coming into this, but if anyone is interested to get us started in that.
I would, but I can barely see what what the hell is doing.
Okay.
If anyone can follow that, go for it.
And Zale is showing you here the bonus options that are available to people who have the full paid version of the app. As you can see, he's selecting our dual class, free archetype, and ancestry paragon bonus rules that we use. This just expands character creation options, and most tables don't use most of these rules, which we're slowly trying to change that because we feel that this is the way that Pathfinder is meant to be played. But again, it's just our opinion. So I think like we could probably just remake a past character that's been in one of our campaigns, if anyone's interested. So an interesting one, I think. Let's go with Elamaris. If you're down for that, Rack, we can kind of show the start of how to build that. Elamaris is actually a character we have not featured in any of our campaigns on stream as of right now. He's from a previous campaign, which will be making an appearance later on this channel. We have plans to bring that campaign back for a legendary go round. So stay tuned for that. If you'd like to see how this
level
game
20,
plays
what?
Yeah, if you'd like to see how this game plays at level 20, and potentially
20 and beyond.
Yeah. So, but Elamaris was an elf.
Yeah, elf.
Gunslinger Magus, dual class. One thing that you want to keep in mind when using the Path Builder app is the order in which you select your class does actually matter a little bit within the app itself. For gameplay purposes, it doesn't matter too much. Just the way the app is coded, the order you select your classes does matter a little bit.
Yeah, it was a primary gunslinger, Mega secondary, elf ancestry, and I believe it was seer as the heritage.
Seer, that might be.
There's a seer elf heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a seer. Oh, that's the heritage, not the background.
And the background would be detective.
Okay, so detective background, which that is a general background.
Mm-hmm. Nothing fancy. It was way up the sniper, even though there's a new there will be a new one being added here soon to Path Builder. But it's way up the stealth shot for Gunslinger that I saw.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
real quick, Zale, real quick, Zale, if you don't mind, let's go back a little bit and just kind of let's click on let's say background detective for a minute, or any one of these. If you'll pause on it, we can just if you look when you make a selection from a list, it expands out and tells you exactly what that option gives you for your character. So like detective, it gives you a background, some flavor text as to what this background entails, what your character has done prior to the start of your campaign, and then it tells you you get to choose. Most backgrounds provide you 2 ability boosts the first one is a choice between two, and then the second one is usually a free boost. There are a few that break that mold, but typically this is going to be what it does. And then a background also gives you one skill usually, and then maybe some other bonus, like a free feat or a lore skill or something. But everything that you need to know about the selections that you're making are contained within the app, so it's very convenient that everything's at your fingertips. Additionally, like Azale, for the background boosts, let's see. Like, you choose intelligence.
It's gonna be Dex intelligence focused with a mix between wisdom con.
But real quick, for the secondary, if you choose, let's say you choose intelligence for the secondary as well as the primary background boost, it'll actually give you a warning saying, "Hey, this is an illegal choice." So it's very like it watches what you're doing, and it lets you know that maybe you need to go back and revisit this. Additionally, when you select the level of your character, if you set your level higher than 1, and you haven't made all of your feat selections at any previous levels, it lets you know, hey, you have this many unselected feats. You should probably go back and select some of those feats. So the app is very clear about like things that you need to do to have your character be fully functional. And then you just go through and it tells you how many skills you get, and this is based off of, for dual class specifically, you get all of the skills, the granted skills based on both of your classes, and then you take the higher of your bonus skills. Which I believe for this one it was, I think, does Gunslinger or Magus get more bonus skills? I don't remember. But then the rest of it's based off of your intelligence as well.
I mean, it's gonna be equal at level 1 because
yeah,
going for priority of both Dex and intelligence because big boom.
Yeah.
And I believe like the way with the original way was the gunslingers like, way at the sniper and Starlit Spawn because we want to spell strike from range. We want to be big blasting.
I would also say, just to kind of chime in here, before we started making LMRs here, a couple of the guys had mentioned Foundry. If anybody doesn't know, Foundry is a virtual tabletop that we play in. It also houses the official Pathfinder system. So anytime that Paizo updates Pathfinder, Foundry basically has it right away. The entire base system is on Foundry, ready to go. And then there are a ton of modders, and it's a huge community that make mods for not only Pathfinder but for everything in Foundry. But that just give a lot of quality of life and cool mechanics to your game. So if you're a person who is looking into virtual tabletops, already plays on virtual tabletops, and is now moving because you're moving to Pathfinder, or
maybe you unsubbed from D&D Beyond.
Yeah, for whatever reason, if you find yourself looking for a VTT and you also find yourself looking at Pathfinder,
shots fired.
There is a kind of perfect marriage that you can run into here with playing in the Pathfinder2e system and using Foundry VTT to support that. And yeah, here we go. Zale just pulled up what Foundry looks like. This is kind of the bells and whistles here. We have a lot of modules and macros, and our GM just happens to be a very talented graphic designer and 3D modeler and other such things. So we actually have a video on our channel here, one of our earlier videos, but where our GM will actually go through and teach you how to do animated landing pages like this. But as you can see, it holds your character sheet, all of your stats. Again, this is all the official Pathfinder2e system, straight from Paizo. You have your chat. that bar on the bottom left, if you guys can see, is like a bunch of different macros that you can use as either the GM or a player. And then Zale, if you could show off just like some of the dice rolls and kind of the different modifiers and actions and stuff off the character page, so you see like, it's completely fully automated, really in depth.
And Foundry is a one-time purchase, $50. If your GM has it, or if you are the GM and you have it, you can add up to, I think, a maximum of 10 people to play at once. Okay, yeah. So basically, you can have your entire group. You can, set up your Foundry server, and then, post your link to your players, and they can join, through Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, whatever. And everybody has access to this. You don't have to pay anything else more after that. If you're interested in getting one of the adventure paths, Paizo does create PDFs that you can purchase and then immediately upload them to Foundry, and they come with maps, and then they have like a GM screen, and they have campaign specific things in the notes for you, monsters, tokens, all kind of pre-made already, and that's all you would need to pay for, and that's again if you wanted to. Otherwise, if you make your own map, or perhaps you have maps from another time, they have the tools built in to, like, say you already have a map, but you just need to make walls for line of sight or add lights, whatever. All the tools are already there for Foundry. So, and there's many tutorials out there on how to put your walls in, make your lights, there's modules that are free that allow you to have multiple levels and layers. You can go as hard into this as you want, and all you need to pay is $50. And not every single player or every single person in your group has to have it. Only one person needs to have it. If they want to have their own Foundry server, if they get interested in maybe wanting to run a campaign on their own, they can get one, but it's not necessary. So for a whole group, $50, you got a VTT ready to go. Okay. Oh, one more. I just want to. We're not sponsored by anything. We're just really big fans, and we thought that we would like to share the information that we've learned that kind of help us, get together, play this game, have fun, and hopefully maybe inspire or help some people who are trying to look for something or have been upset by the current goings on. That there is hope. You don't have to blow all your money all the time and go to something that is just gonna take as much as they can from you. This is a free, easy, fun way to do things, and we just want to share that knowledge with as many people as we can.
Yeah. We are most certainly not sponsored, but we love these products. They have made our lives a lot easier. We were making the switch and just doing all the things that we can imagine, because we are, like, as a group, we're all scattered across North America. So, the only way we can play with each other is through virtual tabletop. And so Foundry has just been an excellent facilitator of that. Basically anything that our GM or we can imagine can pretty much be done in Foundry in some way. So Foundry guys, if you're listening to this, we'd love a sponsorship, but we love you guys anyway.
Dude.
Wow, shameless.
Shameless request.
I will also say, if you guys look kind of at our GM moving around, comes equipped with all line of sight and lighting tools and walls and collisions, so you can have these buildings and other such things. It can get very immersive as you see, like, there's snow falling, and this is just a test map. Zale, I don't know if there's any maps that you can show right now, like an actual map, just for everybody.
If you're a watcher of our campaign, you might think that we only have a regional map. That is not the case.
We do spend a lot of time on the regional map, that's for sure.
Jot notes down. Regional map mostly. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so here's a map where this was like a sword shrine, basically, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And
this was a burial chamber, actually. For a deity from the past.
Yes, and so as you can see, the inside. This is like the entire inside of the building. I believe our GM uses Dungeon Draft with a combination of Photoshop and some other things to kind of put these maps together. And then Foundry does all of the exterior work. So the little door you see, all the walls, all the lighting is usually done in Foundry here. See all these things, everybody moves around. And scroll out, you can see the rest of the map. People can open that door and walk out to the rest of the map
until that door is locked. Okay,
you can also lock doors as a GM. If Zale is actually in the stream now, if you see all of those lines are all of the walls, which informs a lot of the line of sight and collision and where you can walk. So yeah, like as you guys can see, it can get very, very immersive. And just again, it houses the official Pathfinder2e system, so kind of hand in hand here. If you're a new player, come to Pathfinder2e and have any interest in virtual tabletops at all, Foundry is most definitely the way to go. Again, it's just
that's a base thing, right?
The combat tracker. I believe it's a base thing. Yes.
Yeah. So it has a built-in combat tracker too, so it can take care of turns. You can end your turn, go on to the next person. So you always have that. You don't have to think, oh, whose turn was it here, whatever. So whether you're playing virtually or you just have a TV screen or a large screen or a tablet, and you guys want to get around it, all the automation is taken care of.
And there is something to be said as well for Foundry. Then the fact that if you so choose, you can definitely make Foundry work at a table game setting as well. It's a little, it would take some figuring out for sure, but you can definitely use it to run your table games in person as well.
Yes, I've actually seen a lot of more some creators that will actually just mount their TV up into the bottom of a clear, a look through table. And they'll be playing kind of their table is like the TV screen, and you just have Foundry pulled up on the map, and you can basically do all your rolls from they usually will have tablets or something on the side, or little laptops. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you could do with it, but that's Foundry.
Also, you don't got to carry around a bunch of dice when you get to roll that fat 7d10 damage.
I love my dice collection. Thank you very much.
Hey, you are more than welcome to use it, but you don't have to.
I'm going to.
Yeah, if you don't,
clickety clack makes the brain go yes.
If you don't have the resources to buy a bunch of different dice sets or yada yada, you can actually. Foundry has a cool module called Dice-O Nice that you can actually go to and completely change all of your dice settings. The color, the font of the numbers. There's even stuff like that where you can have an animation play on Nat 20 for some reason. Foundry has Thomas the Tank Engine rolling at you.
Whoa!
So that's what we all use now. We call it the meme train. It's very funny. It makes a funny Nat 20 even funnier. And so there you go. They're kind of.
That's...
Yeah, I was just gonna say. kind of that's just the majesty of Foundry. I was actually going to try to transition us back into Pathfinder, and actually talk about the most recent kind of updates with Pathfinder, which is Rage of the Elements, which is kind of still it's only come out in playtest so far, but also the Kingmaker rules that our GM, for the most part, has recently jumped into. And these are very, from what I saw when I started playing with this group, we were still in 5th edition. I did get to play a decent amount in 5th edition, and it seemed like anything kind of this scale was like completely homebrewed, and not very guided in any way. But the Kingmaker rules are basically, and Zale, you can correct me on this as I kind of summarize. The Kingmaker rules are basically rules for like actual kingdom making and empire making within your world. So I assume it would be more for homebrews, but I'm sure that Pathfinder has worked it into some of their adventure paths, or maybe some future adventure paths as well.
If I'm not mistaken, the actual Kingmaker adventure.
There is a specific Kingmaker adventure path.
It was a 1E adventure that they brought forward into 2E with the kingdom making rules. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as part of that adventure path, the players do create their own kingdom within Golarion. So, I mean, that there is the ability there to create a living, like a version of Golarion that is all your group's own. Because living worlds are just absolutely fantastic.
Yep. So you have, if you are a creator, a GM, or somebody who's thinking about becoming a GM, or just a player running in a world like this, where you guys, your characters are doing these kind of, they become world leaders, etc. These rules are really, really cool. Basically, your kingdom gets its own like character sheet and roles that you can like level up through different means. It's really interesting addition, rule set to the tabletop RPG kind of world. In that, like I said before, usually a lot of that stuff is just completely homebrewed, and while that could be very fun, a lot of the times you're just kind of going off the rip, and not everything kind of makes sense. And at least for me, and for most people here in this group, that kind of thing, like, oh, we got a service error. But that kind of thing usually,
I like to hope that our podcast has made the website crash. So many people are checking it out.
Everybody suddenly swarms in there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I literally I clicked on the Kingmaker rules, and it is just over here trying to load, and then I started throwing errors. So
that has a tendency to happen on heavy traffic nights on the weekend.
And I can only imagine that's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they
it's
are
a community that's thriving. So hell yeah, brother.
Yep, that's a good problem to have. And Paizo has said that they're going in and they're updating it for this new influx of new players. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem for too long.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we failed to mention actually is Archives of Nethys is officially supported by Paizo. So
as is the Pathfinder system on Foundry, but I think
as is the Pathfinder system on Foundry. But I know we touched on that, but like Archives of Nethys is like officially like Paizo endorses it. I'm not sure that Paizo actually does much work on that, but they do provide the people that run the archives with all of the content and stuff ahead of time, so that they can have everything available day one when a new rules book comes out. So, that's one thing that's like just a super nice thing to have, is that you have a company that makes a game that supports everything their community is trying to do with that game. Like the Paizo, like, they are fully on board with what Path Builder is doing. They officially support the Pathfinder set 2e system on Foundry, and they endorse the Archives of Nethys. So it's always nice to see when a company like this works very closely with their community, just to make everyone, like, make it so that everyone else can enjoy it more. Unlike certain other companies that will remain unnamed. But yes.
So those are all the resources that we use, and we just, like I said, just wanted to show it off, give people some knowledge, give them, a little bit of perspective on, some people might have played first edition and thought it was a little bit much, but 2e is very streamlined, very fun, and we figured we could show off how easy it is to use and that it's free. You don't have to throw a lot of money just to get your foot in the door. Maybe more people would give it a try, and hopefully you guys would all enjoy it as much as we do. If you watch this and you like what we did today, please like and subscribe, and maybe share it to other players. Get this message around that Paizo is player friendly, and we feel that, like us, if you get your foot in and you enjoy it, you'll start wanting to support them on your own instead of having to support them like other companies.
I do want to make one final topic real quick. We didn't really plan to do this, but I feel like it probably just needs to be said. With everything that's going on right now with Wizards of the Coast and their open gaming license shenanigans, definitely go check out Open D&D. Give them your support in whatever way you can, and don't let this movement die. The internet tends to have a rather short attention span. Luckily, it seems that the TTRPG community has broken that a little bit, but do not grow complacent. Wizards of the Coast is putting out new information. They've already started. They've put out their OGL 1.2 version as well, and reading through it, it still includes a lot of the same issues that the 1.1 version had. So this battle is most certainly not over. And it affects a lot more people than just the 5e players in the TTRPG community. So do not let this die. Keep the movement going, because this is the only way that we can fight back. That's all I had to say, though.
I'm just kind of piggybacking off that. Also, verify what information is coming out for those who are supposedly giving information, because having correct information will only strengthen the base of our for the open D&D movement, and others. If people are spreading misinformation, not giving factually correct, that also will hurt it. So just be critical of what is being sent out. That's just a side topic.
Yep, absolutely. Make sure to verify what you're reading. Make sure to not be complacent. Keep unsubscribing from D&D Beyond. If you're looking for a system change, keep on coming to Pathfinder.
For sure.
But if 5e or 3.5 or third edition is your home, then you guys got to fight the most, right? So stay on subscribe, support 1D&D, and yeah, guys. If you like this content, kind of like our friend Savage said before, please like and subscribe. We stream every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Time at our homebrew campaign, showing off variant rules such as dual class, free archetype, and ancestry paragon, all within Pathfinder2e. We usually run full level 1 to level 20 campaigns. We're currently around level 6, so if you jump in now, you'll get in early. We'll be playing all the way to level 20 in multiple campaigns that will be featured on the channel. We also come out with build videos for Pathfinder, Foundry tutorials, and other such content around Foundry and Pathfinder and TTRPGs. So please drop a like and subscribe. And
remember, hit that bell also. You forgot one thing.
Oh, hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Come on, man.
Hit those bells.
On you. You gotta hit the bell, dude.
And I hope you guys all roll nat 20s in your next sessions.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you guys for joining us. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. See you next weekend.
Bye-bye. I love you.
This weekend.
This weekend, actually.